What the heck is Schupfnudeln? Hi everyone, welcome to Black Cat Kitchen. I hope you're doing well. Now I apologize if I say this wrong. I'm Italian, not German.
Schupfnudeln.
Schupfnudeln. It may not be an Italian recipe, but it's very close to the Italian gnocchi. It's a German potato dumpling that gets fried in a buttery sage sauce. It only takes 4 ingredients. It's so easy to make, so let's get started. See the description below for a list of ingredients. I'm using 750 grams of a starchy potato. Anything that you might use in a mash will be perfect. Now we're leaving the potatoes whole and the skin on while we boil them. Place your potatoes into a pot with cold water and season well with salt. Turn the heat up to max and cook these for about 30 to 40 minutes. I'm putting the lid on slightly ajar so that the water boils quicker. You can tell they're done because the knife goes in smoothly and you can see here the skin is starting to peel. I like to place my colander on top of the hot empty pan so that the steam helps them dry out. We're going to let the potatoes cool slightly before we try to peel them. It's called hot potato for a reason. The skin should come off fairly easily now that they're cooked, but I find the easiest way is to scrape it off with a knife. For the best result, use a potato ricer to rice your potatoes. This one belonged to my nonna. It's kind of like a giant garlic press. This results in a really smooth, creamy potato that doesn't get gluey. You could mash it with a potato masher, just don't use an electric mixer. So pop your potato into your ricer and squeeze. Now create a little well in the center and season your potatoes. A few teaspoons of salt here because the potato really can take it, and some freshly grated nutmeg. Nutmeg is the key ingredient in this recipe, so don't be stingy with it. I'm going to gently whip up an egg in a separate bowl and then pour it into the center of my potatoes. And now we'll start to bring it together with our hands, almost like we're kneading bread, so taking from the outside and pulling into the center. Our potato mixture is pretty wet right now, so we'll start adding our flour in a few tablespoons at a time. So just bring your dough together, pulling in the sides and folding the top over and over again until it starts to come into a dough. You don't want to over knead this. Add flour as you need, up to about 200 grams. Towards the end of my kneading process, I like to use a bread scraper to make sure I'm getting all of the ingredients off of my work surface. And once your ball stops sticking to the counter, that's pretty much when you know it's ready to go. Fill a large pot full of water and turn the heat to max to bring it up to a boil. Dust a baking tray with flour so none of your Schupfnudeln stick. Cut off a piece of your dough and start rolling it into a log. Your log should be anywhere between ½ an inch to 1 inch thick. And now we're going to slice our log into about 1-inch pieces. This is very similar to Italian gnocchi. And now for the Schupf. Start by rolling the dough in the palm of your hand into a small ball. Then gently rub your hands back and forth to create an almost baguette shape. Then place it onto your dusted baking tray. I like to roll mine around on my baking tray so that they don't stick together when I put them in the pot. Generously salt your boiling water. Drop your Schupfnudeln into your boiling water and give them a gentle stir with a slotted spoon. Once they float up to the top, they're ready to take out. Transfer them onto a clean, smooth tea towel. This will allow them to set up so that they fry and keep their shape. You're looking for this sort of dry texture. That's when you know they're ready to fry. And now for our sauce. Pick the nicest sage leaves and set them aside. Chop a few more sage leaves by stacking them up, rolling them into a cigar shape, and slicing through. To a hot frying pan, add 2 tablespoons of butter, and once those start to melt, add in 2 of your whole sage leaves. Once your butter is melted and hot and bubbly, add in some of that chopped sage and your Schupfnudeln. When placing them in the pan, try and give them enough space so they don't stick together. Once they start to brown, use tongs to flip them over. Once they're nice and browned, you can give them a swish around the pan. This is the beautiful caramelization you're looking for, and once you reach this, you can place them into your bowl. These are traditionally served as a side to a nice roast dinner or a fried bacon and sauerkraut, but to be honest, I love them just on their own. Another great potato recipe, check out my crispy potatoes just here. and make sure to hit that subscribe button down here. Make sure to hit that like button and comment down below with your favorite potato recipe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.